Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Kim Maybon, and I am the 2021 Board Chair. Today is a great day with some important updates ahead, and we appreciate you taking time to join us. Thank you for altering your schedule as we normally do this meeting every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Out of respect for our nation, the inauguration in Washington, D.C. will be taking place shortly, and we are pleased that our speakers were able to work with us on this change of time. Today, I will be sharing the agenda with our immediate past chairman, Don Williamson. Don, take it away.
Thank you very much, Kim. Good morning, everyone. Today is sponsored by Citrus Valley Medical Associates. Citrus Valley has been in our area since 1998, with roots going back 3 generations. They have 5 locations with 44 providers, including specialties in cardiology, gastrointestinal, and neurology, among others. They have urgent care that's available 365 days a year. That's every day, for those of you who don't know how many days are in a year. They also, this past week, purchased 150 meals for the healthcare workers at Corona Regional Medical Center. Again, showing their commitment to our community and our healthcare workers. Again, Citrus Valley Medical Associates, today's sponsor. Kim.
Thank you, Don. A reminder to please use the chat button if you have any questions. Not everyone on this call will be able to see the chat. If you have a specific question for one of the speakers, please type it into the chat box, and Linda Richards, today's Corona Chamber host, will verbally ask the question at the appropriate time. Don?
These weekly updates are here to help our members, and if you happen to be on this call and you are still not a member, or if you know a neighboring business that should be and would benefit from our membership, please contact Robert Yanez to become part of our chamber family. We service a regional landscape, and we're not bound by geographical limits. If you refer a friend, you will receive a free advertisement in the Corona Business News.
Friday, February 19th is our Good Morning Corona. Our keynote speaker is Ryan Cora, whose topic is Optics versus Reality. He is solutions-oriented and will provide info as you reopen or continue your business and help you and your employees feel safer. We are also going to get some business tips from Barry E. Knight. Contact Stephanie Shapiro to discuss sponsorship opportunities. Register to attend using the bit.ly shown on the screen.
As an employer, you need to protect the safety of your employees. To help you, the City of Corona, with funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, better known as HUD, is offering reimbursement grants for up to $5,000 per eligible business. Funds are very limited, so do not delay. Visit coronaca.gov/CDBG for details and to apply.
California Competes is an income tax credit for businesses with over 180 million available to CA businesses. The second application period is open now through January 25th. There are FAQs, webinar series, and applications available on the ca.gov website. Go to business.ca.gov and search California Competes tax credit for all the information, or see the link at the top of the slide. Next, I am so pleased to introduce our County Supervisor, Karen Spiegel. Just last week, historic action was taken. Karen was selected by her colleagues as the chair of the Board of Supervisors for 2021. It has been 25 years since a woman took that position. Our chamber and our community are very fortunate to have Karen represent us, and she has been very responsive to the various needs of our businesses. Under Karen's direction, the county has been successful in working with the governor's office to provide the reopening process. Supervisor Spiegel, welcome today, and please take a few minutes to share about what's new with the county.
Well, thank you, Kim. I wish there was a lot of new stuff, but everybody's mind is focusing on 2 things today: COVID-19 and the inauguration. So since the inauguration is just going on, I'll talk about COVID-19. First, I think we need to reflect back that it's been 9 months since the first death here in Riverside County. It's hard to believe that long ago, and since that time that we have had just under 3,000, we have 2,645 deaths that have occurred here in Riverside County since that first death. And it's all ages. We've had a couple of young kids, 12-year-old, and a 15-year-old that have passed, as well as 104-year-olds. So age is not anything that describes what this virus goes after. We've had lots of heartfelt losses. I think each and every one of you, as days keep passing, have now gotten closer to somebody you know that has lost their life with this. So we have to continue to remember that we are all a part of this. And those of you choose to follow, which we hope most of you are, with wearing masks and keeping distance and just getting that surge down, because we have done 2 million tests already and confirmed 250,000 cases of COVID. Our hospitals are beyond capacity. Fortunately, they're working together. They're getting creative in their bed space, and licensing is working with them. We still have 1,524 COVID patients, and 344 of those are in ICU. Our ICU beds are really impacted. But the good news is we've had documented 169,000 that have recovered from this virus. So we know that it's possible. As you know, Bobby and I both have had the virus, and we recovered, and I would say almost back to normal. Can't slow him down, can we? Now, one thing that we keep talking about is opening businesses and getting kids back in school, and I'm 100% behind it, trying to work what we can do to get that done. One of the challenges that we have in our state with the governor is he wants our positivity rate much lower than we're at, and of course, the new cases. I believe it's like 25 cases per 100,000. Well, the sad news is we're at 127 cases per 100,000. So we've got quite a ways to get this. We're looking with hopes that the vaccine will help with this. And I do want to talk about the vaccine, because that seems to be the question now. And I realize some of you will not be getting the vaccine by your choice, but you should understand what the vaccine is about, and how the county is reacting to it and how we are getting our doses. It changes. It's very fluid, because we have no control over how many vaccine doses we receive. That is a state and federal. And in fact, just even on Monday, it has gone up from 114,000 doses that we were allocated to today. We are now allocated 210,575 doses. So that's been an increase in a couple of days. We've only received of that 210,000, 157,000 of those doses. Now, understand that we in the Riverside County don't vaccinate that many. We only, of that 157,000 we've received, we only have 28,000 that we have had in our oversight. The rest of them are 129,670 have gone to providers. And when I say providers is healthcare workers, hospitals, doctors' offices. As you know, Ralph's and Albertsons have different locations that they do vaccinations. So almost 75%, between 60 and 75% of our vaccines go out to providers. And those providers are send in applications with the state, and they work with the allocations that the state sends directly to them. That's still under the Riverside County numbers. And we give right now vaccines to those in phase 1, which are tiers 1, 2, and 3. Most of the frontline workers, anybody directly relating, ongoing with people in the fields of healthcare and anything that is face-to-face. Phase 1B, which we just opened last week when the governor did, is 65 and older. And of course, that seems to be a very popular desire, is our seniors wanting to get it. And then we know that our seniors are those that are the most affected by this virus. The skilled nursing facilities, we call them SNFs, have a different contract directly with the state that we are not involved in. And what's happening, and you may have heard about this, Walgreens and CVS are contracted with the state, and they're the ones that are going into our skilled nursing facilities and giving the vaccines to those in those facilities. Those are not part of our 210,000 allocated, which is good, but they're also slower on getting those. And I've been pushing with California Public Health that we need to get those out to those individuals who are in those skilled nursing facilities. They are the most likely to catch. As you remember when we had the big breakouts in the beginning, it was usually focused around our seniors and the older ones with underlying illnesses. So with that being said, we have so many questions on the vaccines. And as I said, we're limited on vaccines. So when people have gone online, in fact, some of you even on this call have text me, email me questions about the vaccines. We are so limited that when we have an opening, we set up last week for 11,000 more appointments. Within 2 hours, all 11,000s were full. So that is part of the challenge that we are up against. We want everybody vaccinated, but we don't have the vaccines. We're working with the governor, the feds are working. We're all trying to get those vaccines. And if you heard, there was a little bit of a challenge with Madera, and we're getting over that. We haven't had found that any of those lots that were being recalled were in our area. So we do have some in Riverside County, but not directly in any of the facilities here in our area. We are really hoping to increase this and get more of those vaccines out into more local areas, because the big sites that we only have 5 now. We're looking at adding 5 more when we get the new vaccines. Those are long lines, as you well know. And we're trying to get more of the drive-through. I just want to give kudos to Riverside Medical Clinic. I took my daughter there over the weekend, and they did a fantastic job. Very well organized, in and out within 10 minutes. It was just very well done. So she is a healthcare worker, so she has those opportunities. And those that are in the private arena for giving vaccines have a different group that they focus on. So I know that our Corona Regional Medical Center has been doing a great job in giving it to our first responders and to some of the healthcare workers, but those are not open to everybody. So understand that when you want an open for the general public, those most probably at this time will be from the county sites. We are not open yet for the general public unless you're 65 and older. As we go down, and we're looking, probably it's going to be a couple more months until we have the general public having the ability. The next question that people are asking is the second dose. If you receive from a county site, you will get an email reminding you to make your appointment for your second dose. If you receive your vaccine from a provider, I don't know exactly. I know that when we went to Riverside Medical Clinic, they gave her a card and a slip to remind her to make her appointment. So everybody has a different way of doing it. So you really need to be paying attention, mark your calendar a week before so you can make sure you can try and get an appointment for your second dose. There's so many other things I do want to say in Riverside County. I mentioned it when I first started, and that is our businesses. We really need to get our businesses open. That has been a high priority of ours since the beginning of this. I don't know if I agree with some of the decisions that were made, but we have to go along with it. We're in the state, we're in this together, and we'll come through this together. But in the meantime, we have got to help our businesses. And I hope that each and every one of you are reaching out, supporting our businesses. I know that we have been eating out much more than we should, bringing home and eating at the dinner table. I'm getting pretty spoiled of not having to cook as much. In fact, my 10-year-old grandson who lives with us always says, "What are we having for dinner?" And he goes, "Chick-fil-A," or somebody says this restaurant and this restaurant. And, we're going to have to get back to having to cook again. But until then, until our businesses are up and thriving, let's make sure that we are supporting those businesses. And I'm going to tell you again is that face masks are critical in all this. Some of you don't believe in it, but they have proven. I mean, for everything you have say, well, this doctor says it's not good. These doctors say it's good. Until this is gone, let's do what we can to support our businesses. So if you don't want to wear a face mask, you don't want to distance, just know you're doing it for a business so that they can reopen and they can start thriving again. There are some business opportunities with some grants. The feds have now a new grant out, and We will be working with you. We don't have any more. I do want to explain the CARES funding that we received. We received $423 million from the federal government during all this COVID. When we received that money, we were told that we had to spend it by December 31st, 2020. Riverside County took that very serious. We were not going to leave a penny on the table. And we did that. We spent the money. Other counties fought and had it extended because they chose not to spend it. We immediately gave it to our businesses. We were the first one in the state to give out business grants. We were the first one in the state, and probably it was only a handful that gave it to nonprofits. We gave it to all kinds of different areas so that we can make sure we're helping those that were hurting through the COVID. With that being said, we don't have the money left. So if you're seeing other counties that are giving out grants and giving things out, until there's another round, if there is, we don't have that in Riverside County because we chose to get you through this portion knowing that we had a deadline of December 31st. And so as much as I'd love to say we have more grants that the county oversees, but we do have some through the federal government, rvcobiz.org, which is the EDA website. Please feel free to go on there. Rob Moran, who's spoken to the chamber on many occasions, is awesome in working through some of those opportunities. There are some state grants that are coming down, and I'm sure the chamber has been advertising those that are available. And with that, I guess I can answer any questions if anybody has them.
Thank you, Karen. Linda, do we have questions?
Thank you, Supervisor Spiegel. So looping back to the vaccines, we've noticed that the hours of distribution seem to only be Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. Do you think that that's going to be opened at all? And if not, why?
It goes back to the number of vaccines. We don't have enough to staff it longer hours or on weekends, but we have a number of providers. Remember, we only have 25% of the vaccines that the county sites give out. And in fact, we're looking at, as soon as the vaccines come in, Riverside Convention Center will be open, Palm Springs Convention Center, we'll have a school down in Temecula. So there are many other locations that we are standing up waiting for the vaccines. But if you don't have the time, I should say the time, if we don't have the vaccines, we can extend the hours to make it more convenient, but there are other locations that can be utilized for giving the vaccines out on the weekends and in the evenings. As I said, Albertsons and Ralph's are the grocery stores, and there's a whole list if you go on our website of ruhealth.org and click the vaccine. It will give you a location of the different ones, and Bobby has this up here, the partners that are offering the vaccination clinics in addition to your healthcare workers. Some of you don't notice, but your doctor offices have vaccines also. All it is an application to the state, they approve it, and then the allocation of the vaccines will go to them. So your doctors, Kaiser now has them in their possession. They're distributing if you're a Kaiser patient. So there are many others. Just ask your doctor and maybe they have an idea also.
Okay, our next question has to do with the process of selecting the new CEO for the county. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We had over 100 applications. We did a nationwide search, and we had it broken down, and we did interviews of the final 8. And so hopefully in the next few weeks, we will have a decision made. The interviews don't happen until first week of February. And then we will decide back then. So we're excited about new vision, new blood, new everything. George Johnson was incredible for the time he served with us. And this is an opportunity. As I said, we did a nationwide search and a lot of interest because there's not a lot of CEO positions in municipalities that open up like this. So we did have a great response.
Circling back to the vaccines again, how is it that people under 65 are getting the vaccines? We thought it was only going to be for frontline workers and those 65 and older.
Well, I can't answer that because we are supposed to be only giving frontline workers. There's certain, if you look on the website for the different tiers within phase 1A, it'll show you the different tiers. Phase 1B now is opening up to some of the industries that we need to make sure that are covered because of the spread of the virus. But what we call general public, which is most of us, are not open yet until we have vaccinated those that come in contact. We just opened for teachers, I think is 1B, tier 1. And those are the priority, but general workers, if they've gotten it and they've said they've gotten it, I don't know how they did it.
Okay, somebody in our chat looks like has received the first vaccine, but they're having trouble getting making an appointment for the second vaccine. Is there something that she should do differently?
No, they just need to keep trying because I don't know if they've got it on a county site. They should be receiving a card from our UHS to notify them to make their appointment. And it's all about getting the appointment. There's no special, at this time, there's no special way of getting the second vaccine. But there will be vaccines for those folks if you've gotten the first vaccine. And I don't know who'd be, we've only been giving vaccines out for just a month. So I don't know who's ready because remember they're 3 to 5 weeks depending on which dose you get.
Okay, how do we know when there will be a new vaccine appointment? Is there a day or time of the week that those will be available?
We have done them on the Friday before, but there's no guarantee. What I could do is just as soon as I hear when the appointments will be available, and Bobby could send the chamber could send a mass blast out to let people know. I don't know other than that because it just depends on when the vaccines hit. We can't make appointments if we don't have the vaccines. And that's the most critical pieces. I think you'd be more upset if you made an appointment, got in, and then there was no vaccine to put in your arm. So we have to wait until they receive the vaccine in hand.
Great. Thank you so much, Supervisor. Due to timing, we're going to need to move on.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you, Supervisor Spiegel, for sharing those updates with us. Each month, we invite entrepreneurial guests to talk about their business path and accomplishments, mentors, relationships, tips, and a whole lot more. Tune in, and we are sure you will learn something new. On Monday, February 8th, we have the privilege of hearing from Elijah Stacy, a young and dynamic entrepreneur making a huge impact with his nonprofit, Destroy Duchenne, which is a genetically fatal disease that he and his siblings have. Even though he has the disease, he is passionate about fighting and helping doctors to find a cure. Join this free event in partnership with the City of Corona. RSVP now using the link on the screen. Remember, all bit.ly links are case sensitive. Dawn? You're on mute, Dawn.
Oops. If this is the first time you are hearing about any of today's announcements, we encourage you to follow us on your social media accounts. We have a lot going on. We don't want you to miss any of what we do. It's the best way to get real-time updates on what's in store for you, our members. We also have fun contests as ways to promote your business. So check us out on whatever channel you wish, and we would love to engage with you. Kim.
Thank you, Dawn. In cooperation with the city, we are offering a COVID-19 workplace safety for manufacturers. It's a best practice and guidance for protecting your workforce. This is a webinar. It will be on Wednesday, January 27th from 1 to 3 p.m. This is a free workshop via Zoom, so register now and get the information you need to keep your workers safe. Dawn?
Thanks, Kim. We're excited to have trainer and coach Paul Webb with his very popular sales and marketing performance training. Paul offers insights to business in both sales and customer service, and you will change the way you do business forever. Together with the City of Corona, this program is offered for free. If you register by February 17th, after February 17th, registrations will be $25 for members and $75 for non-members. And if you wonder about what kind of guy Paul Webb is, I looked him up on Facebook yesterday. He's in his full suit with a surfboard in his hand at the ocean's edge. So Paul's really a charismatic, entertaining guy. So I encourage you to register today. Kim.
Thank you, Don. The Corona Chamber Foundation, in partnership with the Frontline Appreciation Group of Corona, aka FLAG, are accepting tax-deductible donations to provide meals of gratitude to those stressed and fatigued essential workers. Through this program, meals are purchased at local eateries, thus offering further economic support to our community. Our local heroes are grateful and appreciative of these meals, a little respite, and the support of our community. You can help support restaurants and our essential workers by contributing today at givebigcorona.com. With every $10 purchase, we can purchases one meal, and $500 feeds an entire department. This is a win-win-win program for restaurants, workers, and you. Remember to go to givebigcorona.com and make your donation today. Don?
Thanks, Kim. To be compliant and avoid stiff fines, 2021 labor law posters must be posted in an employee conspicuous place. Additionally, remote workers must be provided a paper copy in their preferred language. As a member benefit, the Corona Chamber of Commerce is offering one free 2021 labor poster to each member, with the option to purchase more if you need them. For additional posters, member pricing is $30 each, 4 posters for $100, and 10 posters for $200. Posters can be picked up at the Chamber office Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Kim?
Thank you, Don. Sponsorships and tickets are available now for the virtual installation and awards gala on February 25th. We will thank Don Williamson for his leadership in 2020, install our new board of directors, and present awards to some incredible businesses and individuals. I will also be sharing my vision as your incoming chair. Use the bit.ly link in the upper right corner of the image on your screen to find out more about sponsorship opportunities or to register. We are offering early bird pricing through January 25th. You can also contact one of our chamber members, our chamber staff, to assist you with sponsorship registration or to answer any questions you might have. Don?
Thanks, Kim. Hey, we're really excited that available right now is a new mobile app. You can post promotions for your business, find out what is happening, and more. This is really a big deal, and we can't wait for everyone on this call and your friends to download it today. Kim.
Next, we will welcome Jeff Miller, who is a local businessman for over 35 years. Jeff has a depth of knowledge on business matters. As a former California State Assembly member, former Corona mayor, and council member, Jeff volunteers his time to help our business community weekly, and during this year, he will be interviewing various businesses, touching on important issues and providing key insights of how to navigate new laws and challenges that businesses face. Please welcome Jeff Miller.
Thank you, Kim. It's an honor to be here. For some of you that may know, may not know, last year I provided legislative and regulatory advice and help to the chamber. And so we wanted to come up with a additional added value service on our weekly calls, and working with Bobby and Kim and Don and our legislative director, Jeff Gibson, we came up with a segment called 3 Questions, How I Survived and Thrived in 2020. And today I'm just honored to have our first interview with Travay Roberts. Travay owns the only local Nothing Bundt Cakes franchise. And Travay began her career as a computer systems engineer. She received her MBA in marketing at Howard University. and transitioned to sales and marketing for 10 years prior to opening up a Nothing Bundt Cakes franchise in Corona in 2018. Since opening, she's won a top sales award each year. And as a new franchisee, Travay also won the prestigious Love Award, which demonstrates leadership, the spirit of a champion, and the servant's heart. She values doing the will of God, to be a blessing to others, spending time with family, and traveling. So with that, I'd like to introduce Travay with our opening question. Travay, hi, can you hear us okay?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great, great. So the spirit of entrepreneurism is near and dear to the Chamber of Commerce membership. And I'm curious what your inspiration was to become self-employed and join the ranks of entrepreneurs. And then following that, how did you settle on a Nothing Bundt Cakes franchise? And were there other opportunities that you were looking at? And was there a particular reason you didn't go a certain direction?
Well, yeah. So actually, from an early age, I knew that I wanted to have my own business. I majored in small business entrepreneurship in undergrad, and by my junior year, I realized I don't have any money. What am I gonna do with my life? So I can't just get out of college and open something. So I did add another degree. I double majored in information technology as well. So that's why I started in computer systems engineering. But I always knew that I wanted to have my own business. I thought it was gonna be a day spa and a salon, and I just wanted to help people feel their best. And so I knew that that was the goal. So throughout my career, and I've moved all over the country, 11 cities, and I always knew that I wanted to do the spa, and I started to interview spa owners, salon owners. I did 50 interviews with owners and managers, and then I just kind of felt like it wasn't a good fit for me. And after doing all of the interviews, so I never gave up. I still just kept saving money because I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know what it was going to be. So I moved to California, and I went on a first date with my now husband. So we went on a date. His favorite place was Nothing Bundt Cakes. And so we went there, and I thought it was just a small mom and pop operation. And I asked like, hi, can I speak to the owner? And they're like, oh, it's a franchise. Just see if there's any way that you can be involved. Here's some information. And from then on, I just did all the research I could. I started the process of opening my own business as a franchisee and landed with a location in Corona.
Great, great. So there may not be anybody on this call, but just in case, if they do not know what a Nothing Bundt Cake is, explain that.
Well, if you've never had our
few of them.
Well, we have all Bundt cakes. So we have 4 different sizes. We have 8-inch cakes, 10-inch cakes. We have buntlets, which are individual serving size, and buntinis, they're bite size that come in a box of a dozen. But not only that, we sell retail, we sell balloons, greeting cards, and we're your one-stop party shop. So if you have a birthday or a graduation or you're catering an office event, we're here to help you.
Okay, great. So let's get into the meat of this. Last year, it was no secret that it was a challenge for most businesses. Once the pandemic hit, what did you do to manage the situation? What were your main obstacles? And how did you deal with those obstacles?
Yes, it was definitely a difficult year, but there's growth in difficult situations. And so I lived and I learned, and I just got through it just by a lot of prayer, but also just trying to focus on what can I do? What can I control? And my biggest obstacle was staffing. As soon as COVID hit, I mostly employ high school kids, college kids. Their parents didn't want them working. So I lost 85% of my staff right before Mother's Day. And that was Mother's Day is the biggest holiday for me, even bigger than Christmas, surprisingly. Everyone loves their mom. So we had lines out the door. And by the time I lost my staff, I had 1 week to hire a whole new staff and figure out how to serve the community. We had already had 300 plus orders placed for Mother's Day. And I was thinking maybe we can do this. And no, we couldn't. It was the worst disaster ever just because the lack of training. I just didn't have enough time to get that done. And I was feeling so guilty that day, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to tell all these people I cannot do this. I just physically can't. I thought I could get it done. So I was just like, my name is gonna be mud all over Corona. However, there was a long line out the door. I promise you, it was about 300 people just waiting in line. We didn't even open till 10 and people were outside at 8 a.m. And I had to go outside and just say, like, I am so sorry, but I cannot physically fulfill all of these orders. I'm happy to give you a refund. And to my surprise, no one moved out of the line. Everyone's like, I don't want a refund. I want my cake. I was like, oh my God. So that was actually a compliment, but at the same time, I was terrified because I'm like, how am I going to do this? So we just made it happen. We closed at 7 o'clock. I stayed at work until 9:30 until the last person had their cake. No one wanted a refund. Everyone was happy to just wait. That was my worst experience since I've ever been open. I'm always on top of things. I always get things done on time. And that was the kicker of COVID that started. I was just so grateful to have people in line that were telling other people that were upset, like, hey, just show some grace. COVID is happening. A lot of things are happening. Show her some grace. I'm like, thank you, God. So from that moment, I just learned to organize, train, just really put in some more effective training techniques. The people that I did have left over, I quickly made them leaders and trainers. So they helped me to train every position. I was at work every day, training everyone as fast as I could so we could just get back on top of things. And so I think, staffing has been and still is my biggest issue with COVID, but we've managed to get through. I told you the story about Mother's Day just because that was a learning experience for me. And of course, everyone that went through that process with me, it was almost like a hazing experience. They were like, I never want to go through that again. Let's make sure we're completely prepared for every holiday moving forward. So my staff just really bought in and just all got on board so that the next holiday could be even better. We had every holiday was super successful, very organized. And, I just am appreciative of a great staff.
Wow, that's a great story. How does it look like for you moving forward this year?
Well, moving forward, I did have, even though it was a very successful year, but it was also a trying year for just figuring out how to navigate this new environment. Moving forward, I just want to continue to focus on marketing to businesses and making sure our guest service is top notch. I always want everyone who comes in our store to feel like, I love it here. This is the best place ever. The staff is so friendly. And, I get that compliment all the time. I just want to keep that up. I just want to keep hiring good people and just so grateful for the community to still come out and support my business. I'm so grateful to Corona. And I just want to keep expanding. Maybe there's a second bakery in the works. We'll see. But just want to do whatever I can to be a blessing to others. Wherever I can help, I'm here.
Great. That's great. Now, if somebody wants to get a hold of you and order a Bundt cake or get one of your nice little gifts in the front of the store, how do they do that?
You can always contact me as well, but you can go on our website at www.nothingbundtcakes.com. You can order your cakes online. You can give us a call in the store. We'll take your order over the phone. Or if you have a large order, if you're a business, you can just email me at corona-ca@nothingbundtcakes.com.
And you also have gift cards, don't you?
I do have gift cards, so feel free. I also have fundraisers for schools, for organizations, anything that you want to do. For businesses, if you're spending over $250, I try to help you out, especially small businesses, and give you a 10% discount. So if you're thinking of something that you need to raise money for, or if you need to cater, just send me an email directly and I'll try to work with your budget.
And I also know firsthand, you've been very generous to some of the nonprofits in town. When they've done the events, you've donated product, and I know they were very, very appreciative of that. With that, I'd like to wrap it up. I don't know if there are any questions in the queue.
Yes, we have a couple.
Okay, do you mind, Travay?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I don't mind at all.
Well, Jeff just brought up, working with nonprofits in the community and that kind of thing. Can you talk a little bit about how you do that and what it's done for your business and how it's helped the nonprofits?
Absolutely. So I know a number of organizations have asked for donations, and I am happy to give and help out the community, and just to try to help. I mean, it helps me, it helps with marketing, and it helps get cake in mouth, because if you've never had our cake, you don't know what you're missing. So it's actually helpful to try to be a blessing to someone else and let them share, because after they try it, word of mouth is the best thing ever. They're going to tell their parents, they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to start ordering it for their family. So, I do want them to, pass on the word, but I also just want to help businesses. I know how hard it is. Sometimes I can't do 100% donation. Sometimes I'll work with you and say, hey, can we do at least 50%, just based on the times. So I will try to work with you no matter what.
You talked a little bit about some challenges that you had at the beginning with staffing and that kind of thing. Did corporate give you much support in that? And do you have any suggestions about others on how to ease that pain of transitioning with that?
Corporate, they're actually based out of Texas. They provided words of encouragement. However, it's kind of up to each owner. Every owner has a different situation. And I would just say, through these difficult times, my advice is just to focus on, if you're shut down. I had to close early. I closed my bakery early for a couple of months just because I couldn't get it through. But during those times, just focus on, what can I do better? Every time I have a holiday, even if it's successful, that's like our holidays, weekends are our most successful times. I always think, what can I have done better? Even if it was a great day, what went wrong, what went right? I circle back with my team members, like, let's talk about it. What did you really enjoy about today? What was better than our last holiday? And what can we do better the next time? That's the only way I can continue to get better. And, so that's my advice to everyone. Just think about your business. What do you want to do differently? What are your strengths? And sometimes taking on too much was my fault. I think one of the things that I learned was I can't control everything. I need to pass off some of my workload to my team members. And doing that and giving them that responsibility gave them a sense of ownership in the business, and they wanted to run it just as well and just as effective. So I think just passing on some of those, some of your workload to your staff and making them feel part of the team.
Thank you. Okay, a couple more questions real quick. Can you talk a little bit about any kind of mentors or people that you had that really motivated you or made a difference in how you thought about things and that kind of thing?
So I did reach out. So I am a person of research. I like to make sure I know what I'm getting into. So starting off with Nothing Bundt Cakes, I interviewed tons of owners. So I do have a mentor that's another owner that's been open probably 5 or 6 years longer than me, that I tend to go to all the time with any questions, because he's probably encountered this, whatever I'm going through already. And sometimes just talking me off a ledge, like, I'm like, we had a great day, but I screwed this up. I wish it was better. And he's just like, Travay, you did amazing. Like, stop it. Stop beating yourself up. So sometimes you just need that person's listening ear, just to talk to and just to ask for advice. So I definitely definitely think other owners or other people in your industry are people that you can reach out to.
Okay, I do know that you have a newsletter. Is there a link that people can easily grab for that?
Do you mean my website? So I have nothingbutcakes.com. You can find all of our information there.
And last question about getting your cakes delivered. Do you use like Grubhub or something like that?
So unfortunately, we can't use, since this is a franchise, the corporation has decided, chose a delivery service for us. So I can't use just the public ones like Grubhub and Uber Eats. We do use a delivery service called Rvsd, and that is basically a partnership with Nothing Bundt Cakes in this agency. I don't know if that's something that you can look up for yourself, but it's called Rvsd, R-O-A-D-I-E.
Thank you so much. That's the last of our questions for now.
Okay, thank you very much, Travay. It was great. Thank you so much for doing this. It was just one, we might have to rename it 10 questions, but you know, we appreciate it. And thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me, and I wish everyone the best and have a great day.
Thank you. I'd just like to plug next week. I have a guest from one of our large employers in town. You may have used a styrofoam cup or a red Solo cup or packaging from restaurants to go. Dart Container Corporation, Jonathan Choi from Dart Container Corporation is going to be our guest next week. And we'll do 3 questions, how I survived and thrived in 2020. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff and Travay. It was definitely great hearing from you both. All right. I'd like to remind you, if you are not yet a member or know of a business to refer, please reach out to our member specialist, Robert Yanez. Meetings like this are just one of the many benefits to being part of an active, thriving chamber. We have incentives for both joining and referring. Robert Yanez at the chamber office can give you more information. Our chamber is growing, and together we make a big impact. Don?
We'd once again like to thank our sponsor for today, Citrus Valley Medical Associates. They are very involved in our community, and Citrus Valley Medical Associates are a great example of giving back. Last year, Citrus Valley Medical Associates was one of our businesses of the year. Visit their website at themightydocs.com. And again, thank you to Citrus Valley Medical Associates. Kim.
Join us next Wednesday for more advocacy updates and get more entrepreneurial tips from Jeff Miller with his next interview. Jeff will introduce Jonathan Chow with Dart Manufacturing. Jeff Gibson, our chamber advocate, will provide insights on new laws and how to best navigate for a successful year. Register now so your calendar is set. We want to express our appreciation to our speakers today and your time and sharing your insights on today's call. And again, today's sponsors, Citrus Valley Medical Associates. If you would like to sponsor a future business briefing, call Bobby at the chamber. Thank you everyone for attending. Our meeting is adjourned.